Just so you know, folks, we're professionals here. Don't try this at home.
Hello. So let's start off real quick by telling everybody a quick update.
Yes.
Obviously, it's just the two of us here right now. David will be absent for a few weeks as he had open heart surgery that most of you know. Surgery went very well, and he recovered faster, I think, than they intended for him to. And Dave is back home and relaxing right now.
Got home yesterday.
He got home yesterday. His he said his chest. He told us this morning his chest is a little sore, but I mean, you know, they did like
that would be to be expected.
You know what else
when they completely rip your chest cavity open.
Yeah, it's like not only did they just rip it open, they held it open and they dug around inside. And so you guys can follow them on their Instagram and everything, and they are posting updates and pictures. I think he actually has a picture of his. He still has the picture of his chest on there, doesn't he?
You can see a little bit of it. Yeah,
I think he had one where you could see it, but
yeah.
Anyways, yes, David is doing well. So thank you all for your concerns and your prayers. I know we kept you all updated the best we could with calling people, telling people.
Yep.
But it went about as well as anybody could expect. Maybe even better. I mean,
yeah, it's still wild, man. Like I can't even imagine.
It's wild. First off, we always thought, so first off, our biggest loser competition, whatever you want to call it, actually helped figure this out, because in the process of actually trying to get into shape and actually losing weight and doing everything else that we were trying to do to stay healthy, Dave was struggling.
Yeah.
And Dave found out through struggling that he had an issue. He went to some doctors who didn't know exactly what it was. Then he went to some other doctors, and it turns out that he finally found the right doctor that figured out what the problem was. He had a bad stretch of his aorta that was stretched and some other issues, and his aortic valve wasn't operating properly. So they had to go in and replace part of that. And in doing so, the whole purpose of we started this because of him too. We started the very first Biggest Loser because he wanted to get back in shape and everything, and he's been killing it. He's got to be on. He can't be killing it right now because it will.
But I think that's with all the extra work he's put in over the last year and a half, definitely helped with his recovery.
100%. 100%. So we are ecstatic that Dave is doing well. We're going to miss him over the next couple weeks. We don't have a timetable for his return right now. I can tell you that Shep and I are insistent that he rest. We want him back when he's ready, not beforehand. So, and he may pop in from, once or twice along the way and see what he's doing. So
we do start a little late, being 9 o'clock. So we try to make sure he's in bed before that.
We want him to be rested and in bed.
Yeah.
So we're doing what we can.
We'll see. We'll see when he gets in here.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So, all right, real quick. I think we got a couple of birthday weeks to make up. So I will tell you guys that we are gonna the Meme That Photo will be on hold till Dave comes back. So
I would tuck him in. If I was there, I would tuck him in nice and
nice and we get on one side, I get on the other side, we kiss him on the forehead, his little bald head, wish him good happy thoughts. Like, good night, buddy. Sleep well, get better. Good night.
I'd sing him a little song every night.
So he got an artificial portion inserted into where his aorta was, and then I don't know what they did to the valve. I think they didn't replace it. So they just kind of like, I don't know what they did to that valve.
I think they replaced the whole aorta.
They did not replace the whole aorta. That's a big, huge, thick thing that goes all over.
Well, a chunk of it anyway.
They did a section of it, yes. But the aortic valve is the valve inside there that wasn't operating right.
Yeah, it was inside. It was like fused or something like that.
Yeah, so he we'll get him to come on and talk about it properly.
Yeah, that way we're just not making sense, because I'm making sense of nothing, of not making sense, of no sense made.
Something like that.
Makes sense.
So, but yeah, we got 2 weeks for the birthdays. We're going to put the thing on hold. But let's welcome in people here. We got Disney's Adventures, Sean Williams, Samantha Lowe, Melissa Lorraine,
Karen Cook, Andy
B, Happy Son, Jason Nudo, Debbie Bernfeld, Disneyland fan, Udo Ali Lane, Janice, Disney 1974, Jonathan Chong, Stacey Rogers, T. Marie's Place.
I have a Charizard,
Stephanie
Gold Card,
K, Penn Smith, Angela Minta, Debbie Thuner, Annette, Wendy B, Mike Idiot, NYC, Diz RN, AJC Magic TV, Marin Memphis, Corner Sports, Orange Cone Vlog, Stephanie L, Buddy R, Christine Hickman, Zan Lax, Sharon Powell, Dreamer Deborah, Cheryl Long. Did I get everybody? I think I got everybody.
I'm selling this for $1 million if anyone would like to buy it.
Nobody would like to buy it. Joy S, welcome. Murph, hello. The aorta is a garden hose size artery. That's what they just did a section.
Yeah.
So
the upper portion.
I think it was like 2 inches long. So 2 or 3 inches long, something like that is all they fixed. So, but it was good.
Yes. All right.
So we got our Dave coming back. But soon. But we got maybe have some special guests or two tonight. We might have some people popping in here in a little bit.
Special guests.
We'll see how it goes. But if you're new to the world, football.
Oh man, is it really?
Yes, Preston. 12 hours.
They're going down there.
They fly out in the morning, like at 6 a.m. or something like that. It's early.
You lucky son of a gun.
Yep, he's on his way for sure. So we have, just in case you missed it, football news. Football.
Stephanie L. That's great. Congratulations. In a little early, but hopefully he's doing well. Prayers. It's cool.
Oh wow. Yep. Yeah, he's bigger than they thought. That's good. Well, obviously, prayers be head your way. G. Wilson, hello.
I'm pretty jealous. I've been not gonna lie, because I got 77. I have to use 75 points before February, or they just disappear.
I mean, if you need somebody to give them to, just let me know.
Well,
What you really ought to do with yours, seriously, because I'm thinking to do the same thing. I was going to sell my contract because there's no benefit for me anymore. I have zero benefit.
Oh, you're there.
Well, but I mean, not that. I don't mind that. They took all all the DVC benefits are no longer available for if you bought it resale.
Oh, the only contract I have left is the direct, so I still have all.
So I don't have any of those benefits.
But I only have 75 points. So Dave was going to rent some from me and book a trip, but the points that I was going to use that he was going to use, I didn't realize. So I banked from 2022. I banked at 75 points.
Real quick, Spence Smith's going to be a grandma.
Oh, holy cow. Grandma PJ.
I didn't think you were old enough to be a grandma.
Grandma PJ. I didn't realize that. So I banked the 2022.
Yeah.
So right now I have 150 points for 2022 and 2023. Well, I didn't realize I had to use those 2022 points before the new use year in February.
Well, yeah, because then you get 2024 points.
Right. I thought as long as I booked something while I had them, and I was trying to book something in March.
Use them prior.
Yeah, I was trying to book a big trip in March, and I couldn't do it. So now I'm trying to figure out a way to use 75 points and there's not much. Like there's very little.
There is very little. And they're sporadic. Like you can do a room here and a room there. Because I've got a few points to use up before October or before December 1st.
Yeah. So I right now I'm almost pulling it. I got to pull the trigger if I'm going to do it. I might just book it and then I might just sell it to somebody.
Tina Neal just said something which is accurate. If you go to Dave's rental,
I could.
They'll get rid of them for you fast because I was going to consider selling my contract because I don't need it anymore if there's no benefits. I don't mind staying around. I can do that. I like staying at the resorts.
I mean, the nice thing is that you can just a bunch of staycations.
But the other thing is I can rent them right now for more.
Nothing in Disneyland. I was checking too because I was like, I was trying to think of like just a quick little trip for me and Jenny.
Oh, hey, no joke. You could spend. You don't even have to spend that many, and there's a 4-night stay right now available in November at Alani.
I saw that.
I almost booked it, but I was like, nah, I got to put the flights.
I saw that, and I said that to Jenny, and I'm like, we could do that easily, me and her.
Yeah, if you get
and
4 nights, you could use up some points, and it'd be great.
Yep. And she was like, no, we can't go without the kids because they'd be so mad. And I'm like, dude,
come on, Jenny.
I know. So
Beth Harper, welcome. We appreciate you being here.
Well, welcome, newbie.
There's normally a third person. He sits down here and he's got a bald head. We shine it up, but he had open heart surgery this past week, and so he's doing well though, recovering. So welcome to our family.
He'll be back. But yeah, so I got to figure out. I want to do a trip for the kids next year.
But you got to use 75 by February.
So I have enough because I can bank the 2023s and then use the 2024 and then use 2025s and use the three of them combined to have 225 points, and I'll be able to book a nice trip for all of us for like 6-7 nights.
Let's talk off camera about something.
Yeah, but so then I was like, well, we could book. There's
Herschel Lenny, welcome in.
There's a week in January that I can book.
A week
for all of us. Yeah, there's a full week in January.
Where at?
It's just one of it's. I think it's Saratoga.
Oh, it's not like it is in Disney though. It's not like Vero Beach or Hilton or anything.
Yeah, no, it's Disney, but like everything else is booked. But Saratoga has.
No worries, Orange Cone Vlog. Welcome.
So I was thinking, I was thinking like I could do that, and then, Jenny was like, "Oh, it's right after Christmas break." And I'm like, "Well, all right." So I'm like, we have two options. I'm like, I can use 75 points now, and just book something between now and February for just the 75 points, and I can, give or take, I can borrow a little bit, and then use 23, 24, 25, and book another trip for the whole family. So I don't know. I got to do it quick because I already had one little thing in mind with dates, and it already got one of the days already got stolen. So
Disneyland, Disneyland fan, there are way too many variables to be able to give you an accurate date. The lowest cost nights you can get for a deluxe studio are 7 points, but they go up. Even the studios go up to like 40 or 50 a night, depending on where you're at. And then you got 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, and you got these special. I mean, they go up to over 100 points a night for some of these things.
Yeah, different times a year, it's different.
Yeah, it ranges by the time of year. It ranges by the type of room, and it ranges by the resort. So the lowest you're ever going to see is 7. The most, I mean, they're in the hundreds for the most. So
what's
that?
Just
varies, huh?
What's that?
The points per night. Like if you wanted to get one of the grand villas.
Oh,
something like that, you're going to spend,
like
you spend a couple 100 points a night. So
yeah, 3 bedrooms are just
there is no random rough guess, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it depends completely on those 3 factors: time of year, type of room, resort. So,
yeah, because there's 5 different seasons. They have 5 different seasons, so there's 5 different point values. So like there's some nights or there's some seasons, like the off seasons, where you can get a studio at like Saratoga Springs for like 7 points or 8 points. So you could stay for 75 points. We could stay for like 8 nights.
Yeah.
But the other problem I run into is studios. Most studios are 5 occupancy. There's a couple that are 4 occupancy, but most of them are 5.
Don't claim one of the kids. Just show up with them.
1 bedroom, which is huge. They're huge. There's plenty of room. Are still only 5 occupancy, which is mind-boggling. And then a 2 occupancy is like 8 or 9. So with a family of 6, we have to bump up to either. It's actually cheaper to get 2 studios. I found I can stay for the same amount or longer if I rent 2 studios versus 1 2-bedroom because of the point difference.
Oh, yeah.
So that's probably what I'll do to get more time. The twins count as 1. I don't disagree, Mandy. And I don't know, like, how strict are they with that? Because, like, I mean, gosh, it's like 2 of them are, they'll be 5. So, I mean, it's not like
We'll be Wendy.
It's not like we have 6 full-grown adults in there,
So that's the thing, though. You don't have an annual pass holder, though. If one of you has an annual pass, you could book it for the other 5, and then you just stay in the room with them and get their packages together with their tickets and everything.
Yeah.
Or you just pick one of the kids you like the least and leave them at home, with grandma and grandpa.
Well, I mean, when you book through the vacation club, like, you don't have to have the tickets. You can buy the tickets after the fact.
Oh, you can.
Yeah. So you can just book the room, and then you buy the tickets separately.
I didn't know that. I thought you bought it as a package.
No, you just book the room and then you buy the tickets after.
Cool.
So, I mean, I could do that and save a ton.
Oh, my mom's here too.
Oh, hello, Mom. But I don't know how strict they are with with that, because I feel like they're gonna just like kick me out or something stupid. They're like, oh my gosh, you have 6 people in this 5-bedroom, and 2 of them are 5, and one's 7, and one's 10. And I'm like, yeah, they're all tiny people. If you put, exactly, like twins are technically one birth year or 1 birthday, and if you stack them, they're still smaller than like a 10-year-old. So maybe that's what I have to do when I go to check in. I'll just stack one on top of the other and put a big trench coat on them. Tina, good night, Tina.
Why is this? Let's see here.
I don't know, does anyone have experience? Yeah, they'll kick us out. Ah, bummer.
Not only will they kick you out. Okay. There we go. Does this work? There we go.
Like when we did in 2019, we did the Poly, and it was a studio, and we could fit 6 in there. But
you can fit them. Your smaller kids ain't that big.
Well, you can do 5 plus an infant. You can do 5 plus a child under 3.
Your kids are what, 4?
They're
5?
4. Yeah, it'd be 5 next year. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't even want to look, PJ. Cruise, again, like cruise is off the table for a family of 6.
19.
Unless you get 2 rooms. Like I'll have to get 2 staterooms now if I want to go on a cruise with my whole family.
Yeah, because you can't put 5. What is that? 4 or 5 is the max there too.
Yeah, usually 5, 4, but
I think
5
4 on the cruise. Yeah,
5 is absolute max. So we're talking like and I love cruises. It was a great time. Like, thankfully, we did get a couple in.
Stacy.
Um,
Stacy said she's eating healthy tonight. Strawberries. They may be an ice cream, but it counts.
ooh, I like that. I like that.
You could always go to one of the beach resorts though, and just take a beach vacation and not come to Disney.
So I looked at that too. Like Vero Beach, but there's no.
I would go to Hilton Head if I was you, but yeah.
Hilton Head's booked too.
Well, I mean, if it's available, I wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
We'll talk for sure. So, so you ready for some? Well, first off, we have, like the name, we have a special guest with us already.
We have a special guest. Who is this special guest?
It's Inferior Dave.
Oh, Inferior Dave.
Hey, wait. Justin, I need you to do me a favor.
What? Put your head on back.
I need you to log out of StreamYard and come back in as your own.
I see what I did there.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Wait, I can't boot him either. Leave. Don't end stream. Just leave the stream. Then go up and log out. I see him in the background.
Oh, yeah.
He's gone.
He hosted last week. That could have been rough.
Yeah.
That is funny.
I forgot he when you were driving, I guess he was hosting, right?
Yes. Yeah, a couple weeks ago on the way to zombie camp.
You want to do birthdays? You ready for birthday?
Yeah, let's do birthdays. Let's wait for him to get back. Anyway, long story short, hopefully at a minimum I will be getting back to Disney next year. It'll just depend on yeah, dude. So 4 days, 4 park passes.
Oh, they're expensive. You can't. Yeah, it's
4 days. 4 days for 6 of us.
Yeah. Oh, for 6 of you? Wow. $5,000.
It's going to be like $4,000.
$4,000
for 4 days. Like,
hey, but look, if you do the right thing and you get one of those special resorts, you can get the free dining thing coming in 2024. Woo-hoo. That's actually a big deal. So,
what part of a long story was? Hey, it's all. Yeah.
So I said, long story long.
I know we might have to drive because the Disney tickets alone are like $4,000. The flights, I did find flights. I mean, so you got to be like, I would have to pick the trip around the flights because I did find flights for all 6 of us for $1,400, and that's
ridiculous,
insanely cheap. It was like $200 a person.
Yeah.
So that's not horrible. I mean, if I drove down there, it's probably going to cost me $1,000, if not more. So for $1,400, I'd much rather fly. But again, I'll have to pick the flights first and then pick the dates.
It used to be about 3 people. 3 people was your break-even point for flying and driving. And that was several years ago.
Yeah.
Now it's like 2. So if you're going to fly with 2, it's about the same to drive as it is with 2.
Yeah.
It's just a matter how much your time and the wear and tear on your vehicle is worth outside of that. So
right.
Detroit is welcome in.
But for me, $1,400 to fly 6 of us is way better than driving.
Well, that's a whole lot. Hi, Inferior Dave.
Hello, Inferior Dave.
I realized, I was trying to log in as Steve just so I can kick Shep out. That's what I was doing.
Oh, I would have let you stay there. My bad.
Oh, man.
I got another box today, Justin.
Oh, yeah. You got some interesting stuff coming. Have you opened them yet?
I did. I didn't know if I was supposed to or not. And then once I opened the first one, I had to keep going.
He told me.
So
those are interesting.
So the first thing I got
was very, very interesting.
No, the first thing I got was dill pickle cotton candy. So what if you guys don't know, I do these challenges things, and Justin says, "Hey, I got a challenge for you. I'm going to send it to you, but I want you to do it live." Which I don't know, man. This is gonna be rough. So it's not going to happen for a little while, but it'll happen. So the first thing he sent me is dill pickle cotton candy. I'm like, oh, I can deal with this. It's the first package I opened. No big deal. Second package I opened was this nastiness. Earthworm jerky. And that one, I don't know if I can do, man. That one's gonna be a rough one. We'll see. That's just. I might just like. I was telling Chef, I may just lick it and be done. Let's see. But then I got this one today, and this is gonna be just as bad because I know I didn't open them all the way. I just saw what it was called, and I know it's gonna be the stuff I don't like. But
bags of cocaine.
no, we got ranch dressing soda. Which is going to be awful.
Be fantastic.
What else is in here? We got ranch dressing. We got buffalo wing sauce soda.
Man,
I just know there's going to be mayonnaise and mustard in here, and it's going to make me vomit. I mean, what's this one? I've not opened these. Oh, that's not bad. Pumpkin pie. I mean, I don't like pumpkin pie, but that's pumpkin pie.
That one shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
See, that's not terrible. So
Charlie, what's up? Charlie, did you see what happened to Leominster?
Huh?
Leominster has been wiped off the face of the planet.
Who?
There's a city town thing in about 40 minutes north of me, and they had crazy rain 2 nights ago. Absolutely flooded the whole entire town. And then bacon soda. That might not be bad.
I thought these were going to be like mayonnaise and mustard.
That might not be bad at all.
That one might be like a candied bacon flavor. 2 more. Peanut butter and jelly.
That might not be bad either.
Yeah, I'm liking this so far. I thought it was, well, I got one more to go. So far, ranch is the only one that really bothers me. Ooh, this one looks yellow. Is it mustard? Sweet corn.
Oh, that's weird.
Okay, these might be a little bit more interesting.
More stomach friendly.
These might be a little more palate friendly for me. I'm afraid the last one I think is doing like tomorrow. I think
he needs Vegemite, like a Vegemite sandwich.
I'll give you a little hint.
Songs.
You get what?
I'll give you a little hint.
Yeah.
I think that package is coming from Japan.
Oh, like the Pavilion Japan or like Japan?
No, like Japan.
Oh man, I've seen what's in the Japan Pavilion. I don't like any of that stuff. So.
Like Japan, or like the Pavilion Japan?
The Japanese Pavilion has a wall of like I don't know dehydrated soft shell crabs, and it is yeah.
I didn't do seafood. I know you're not a seafood.
I appreciate that. You did earthworm jerky.
Hey, that's not seafood.
We'll see how this goes, man. Well, here's the thing. It's marinated jerky. It's earthworm jerky marinated.
Charlie, that's horrible. Both his sister's houses are flooded. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So real quick, I got to talk about this. This town up in Mass, about 40 minutes from me, north, like just had an absolutely horrendous. They had like 9 to 11 inches of rain in a period of like 2 hours, and on top of it, as everything was flooding, and they didn't realize, but there was a water main at a hospital that exploded as well, which was causing even more additional flooding. So long story short, it's insane. The damage is just out of this world. It's like there was a state of emergency in that one town because it was so bad. It was wild.
Did Shep just say real quick? It's Shep. Nothing is ever quick with it. So if you're in that area, please be safe. The earthworm jerky is marinated in sweet chili sauce. But here's the thing: it's good until December 30th of 2025. So I got some time. So
I will say, I'm sure he's listening or watching, but I got Dad Bill's 2 things. One of them, he opened them the other
night. I saw
night.
one of them.
And that was something that was real good. I got him something that isn't as good.
Yeah. Well, when he opened his, he got. I saw the churro Kit Kats.
That's ridiculously good.
I opened mine, got earthworm jerky, and I went, "This is not churro Kit Kats."
What? So, PJ, what is Vegemite? Like,
Nasty.
What is it? Because it's in the song, and I've always known like it's something Australian because it's in the song.
Well, it's in a song, but it's
It's like apple butter, but made with bugs, I think.
Well, it's a yeast extract. It's got a lot of yeast extract in it. It's a very bitter taste, from what I understand.
A freeze-dried tarantula.
I saw that, and I was thinking about getting that for Steve.
That's wild.
It's like one tarantula that's like that big, and it was like $15. I was like, Steve's not worth that.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I haven't seen what's coming, but thank you. No.
Yeah, he's actually happy that's not worth it.
Anyways, I really do appreciate
that hairy little thing staring at you while you're about to eat it.
Oh, yeah. Well, would you eat it? Would you eat it looking at its face or its butt? I would think butt.
What, the tarantula?
Yeah.
Oh, I would bite, like it wouldn't get finished. It would be a nibble off of one of the legs.
Yeast extract, and it's loaded with vitamin B. Okay. Interesting.
So, anyways,
we're gonna have to send Steve some Vegemite.
No. They don't have to be food challenges, guys. Do something different besides food. So, you're just in time for Shep to sing birthdays.
Oh.
See in a few minutes. So I got some birthdays. We got 2 weeks here. Not too many of them here though. But I do have 2 weeks. We had on the 3rd, which was
he left. He didn't want to hear it.
Yeah. All right, you got to hear. If I got to suffer, you got to suffer.
You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice.
On the 3rd was Wendy Luhu's birthday.
Wendy
Luhu. I got on
John, I don't blame him.
On
Thanks,
the
John. Appreciate it.
8th, which were the only 2 birthdays I have last week. Nathan Rada's birthday was the 8th. So you got Nathan Rada. On the 10th, which is Sunday, you got Molly Rook's birthday. It was Molly Rook's birthday. On the today. We got 2 birthdays today.
That'd probably not be too bad.
2 birthdays today.
Today.
One is Joe Pompoli. Joe Pompoli's birthday.
Joe Pompoli.
And the other one is Katrina Gillespie's birthday.
Katrina.
Learned the first verse of the Australian national anthem.
Oh, there you go.
I thought it was Land Down Under. Minute work? No. Okay.
That's not I think it starts off with it starts off with no. This is a knife.
That's not a knife. This is a knife. All right. Testing. Oh. Hello. Testing. Oh, here we go. Ooh, that's the sweet buttery sound of magic.
This is where we don't pay attention anymore.
All right, here we go. Everyone sing along. 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday. Do-do-diddle-diddle-doo. Happy birthday. Do-do-diddle-diddle-doo. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you, Wendy, Nathan, Molly, Joe, and Katrina. Wendy, Nathan, Molly, Joe, Katrina. Happy birthday to you, birthday to you, birthday to you, birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Take it away, Justin.
No, thanks.
Back to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday to you, Wendy, Nathan, Molly, Joe, and Katrina. Happy birthday to you, birthday to you, birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Are you done?
Right. Felt like that was a pretty good one.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty short. More than Not that I'm complaining.
Well, there's only like a few birthdays, so it went quick. The more birthdays, the longer the song. I mean, that's just the way it goes.
So, Justin, how you been?
I can't complain. No one listens, so
I listen.
Well,
I'm listening.
Appreciate that. Yeah. Well, just you guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Listen, we're always here to listen.
What we do, man, we listen.
Right. We all hug each other.
Oh yeah.
in the hot tub.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
I would hug in a hot tub, sure. Naked.
You love hugs in hot tubs.
I usually only go into hot tubs naked.
This guy has.
Speaking of naked hot tubs,
There he is.
hey.
He invented it. Chris invented the naked hot tub hangout.
I learned a long
like
time
that.
ago. You wait
The
until
naked hot
after
tub.
Shep sings to join.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, you were sitting back there.
He was sitting there waiting for you, and then he didn't come in till after it. YouTube, is it over? YouTube stopped working because it was so much pain.
You speak naked and Chris shows up. Hey, listen, the naked hot tub hangout sounds like probably the best and coolest podcast to ever even be a thing. I'm telling you.
Do you have
get
to
a
do
bunch
it while
of
you
get a
actually
bunch of
sitting naked in a hot tub?
Listen, you get a bunch of steamy dudes naked in a hot tub, and they're hanging out, literally. It's a good time.
Oh,
what about instead of a hot tub, one of those hot houses? You know, where they
a sauna.
Like a sauna,
sauna, and
Yeah.
they put the towel over us. And,
where all the old dudes
Mhm.
sit naked
Right.
around the little,
yeah.
Naked sauna hangout. The Naked Sauna Show.
Yeah, I guess.
Dudes naked in a sauna. I don't know.
Yeah. So we had lots of news, boys, this past week.
The Roman baths in the days of old. Deborah.
The D23 Destination D23 was here. A lot of interesting announcements. Nothing really confirmed. You know, they just keep giving us these blue sky ideas that we hear. But we do have a couple dates and some hard stuff that we can some hard dates that we can talk about. But let's start over in Animal Kingdom. We'll just throw out one of these, and then everybody can give their opinion about it, what you think about it. And let's start with Zootopia, because first off, they didn't really say.
I like that Shep Sauna Show.
No, Zootopia show is going to replace It's Tough to Be a Bug inside the Tree of Life. What do you think about Zootopia? Because it was originally supposed to be over in Dinoland, which will not be happening now. So Zootopia's representation is now under the Tree of Life. It's a Bug's Life.
I think it's stupid.
Do you ever ride It's a Bug's Life?
Oh yeah. Well, it's not a ride. You just sit there and they tickle you and stuff. Yeah. They'll come out and then stuff comes at you. It's all 3D. It's cool. And 90% of the time we haven't made it. Like I don't think we made it through a whole show because like one of the kids gets scared and we have to walk out.
Okay. So they're gonna upgrade the show and replace it with Zootopia, which everybody loves almost. But and you have a problem with that?
No, I love Zootopia. I think that they're making a huge mistake by putting Encantoland there, and
I disagree wholeheartedly, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
They should be doing Zootopia Land.
No.
Yes, because that's at least animals.
The reason why they're not doing that, but it's humanized animals, which is not
still animals.
Yeah. Well,
what are the animals in the
Have you seen Zootopia Land from wherever it's at, Shanghai or wherever it's at? It looks awful.
Oh, really?
It's very cartoony looking.
Very cartoony looking. Here, I'll see if I can find it. Actually, Chris, I'll do it because sometimes
I can do it.
Your thing doesn't always like you, but we'll try it.
Things like me.
I think they don't need realistically. They don't need to do like a Zootopia Land. I think they just need to do like a Zootopia ride.
That's what they're doing. They're doing an attraction underneath the Bug's Life.
Well, that's an attraction. No, they should do like a ride where like you're the police officer. You're what's her name there? The
Judy Hobbs.
Rabbit, Judy, and you're in some ride catching a bad dude. And you're like you're like in a little police car or something. That's what they should do for a ride. I think the Bugs Life thing is probably pretty dated at this point, so they got to do something with it. And I don't know. I guess I got to see what are they going to do for a show with Zootopia?
There's the cartoony. There's another one they showed. I saw earlier. It looks even worse than that. Where it has the giraffe building.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it looks like.
That thing looked like. Remember where on Sesame Street when the train would go to that King's Puppets house?
Yes,
it looks like.
Yeah.
Well, that's the buildings right there. That's what it looks like. And there's one that looks like an A that's got giraffe print up and down it. It's pretty awful looking. I mean, not a fan. I was pleased with the announcements that came out, strictly because we'll talk about it here in a minute. But actually, let's just roll right into it. So, Dinoland, they're doing two big things inside Dinoland.
I do like one of them.
We are, which One of them completely does not fit in any regard whatsoever to anything in here, and that is they're going to just take Dinosaur and replace it with Indiana Jones because it's the exact same ride.
Awesome.
So they're going to turn lights on and make it. Shep loves it. This is where Shep complains about the whole this doesn't fit because of conservation animals and things, but doesn't care when it comes to Indiana Jones ride. So
Because I love it.
You can't have it both ways.
I love that ride.
The ride is the exact same as it's okay. It's nothing spectacular. It's just Dino Land in the lights, so you can see. It's good.
Stacy said that she said a long time ago that Dino Land should have been South America.
Yep, that's what.
And doing a Encanto ride. So you got it on. You got it. You got it.
So the other part of that is
you should get paid for that.
In relation to they're going with northern South America around the Columbia area as the theme for this. So there's a lot of they're going with the tropics is what they're doing. So they have Asia, they have Africa, they're going with the tropics now. And Encanto will be the biggest part of this new area. Because I saw that it looks like they're gonna build the casita so you can go in and see the house and everything, and some other rides and other attractions in that area, along with the fact that they can now bring the animals that are special to the region that you saw all over the place in Encanto. They're gonna bring those now to it as well. So
they're gonna make it Xanlax. They're gonna make it as authentic as possible. So there probably will be.
you know. Part of Colombia. So Dino Land will now have
Encanto will be a little souvenir from the little souvenir store.
Well, I would
get them all high as a kite.
Isn't that where they're going to put the hippos, right?
I don't know. I think so. They're going to put some of that. I think they could put some of this birds. I would love to see them bring in a toucan, an actual toucan to put in there. They got
his name's Sam.
They can move the Komodo dragon over there. They got a lot of stuff that they could do in that area. Because it's a rainforest, the tropical stuff. They got all kinds of species of animals they can put in there, and it's all about the conservation of you got different biomes is what they're forming here, and except for the fact that Indiana Jones doesn't belong anywhere in any of that. So
hey, it does.
No, it doesn't,
because they were in South America. That cave of wonders, if you will, was in South America.
No.
I mean, if you were a Disney executive and you saw Indiana Jones's last movies fail at the box office, you'd make a ride for it too. It makes total sense.
Listen, if you have not done the ride in Disneyland, I'm telling you right now, it is one of the best rides.
Not true.
It is
not true. I've done the ride.
So good.
It is fun. Again, this is where you go from. Hey, we ride these things all the time to. You go out there and ride it one time, and you're like, oh my God, this is spectacular. It's the best thing ever because it's new and you've never done it before. It's the exact same ride as Dinosaur, except turn on the lights and replace the dinosaurs with other people that are trying to chase you in Indiana Jones. It's the exact same ride. It's the exact same ride track, which is why they're doing it. Because
Wheeler's got it right.
They know it doesn't fit, but it's going to be the cheapest possible thing for them to fix as opposed to knocking it down and trying to build something completely new. So...
You have to give Disney one thing, though. At least they understand Animal Kingdom sucks, so they got to do something about it.
It's Justin's least favorite part.
See, everyone agrees with me that the cave is in South America. So there, that's how. Now
everyone agrees with you.
And yep, 100%. And now I can agree with Encantoland. So.
Because you have to. You can't defend Indiana Jones for the same reasons you're against Encanto with. So it just happens.
Well, the only thing was like the big sky, the big blue sky at D23 last year was
a bunch of crap.
It was Encantoland behind Big Thunder Mountain.
Yeah.
And so now they're just trying to fit it somewhere to make something happen.
Still showing on the concept art behind Big Thunder Mountain as well.
They're not going to make two.
Well, it depends on what they do. They have other attractions in multiple parks.
They need to make it. You know what they could have done, which would have been made more sense there, is done Raya, done like Japanland.
Yep.
Is that Japanese?
Don't they all?
I'm pretty sure they're Japanese.
Okay, let's go with this. So a long time ago, I said
some sort of Asian culture. They could have done an Asia land.
Shep, just stop before you.
Oh wait, they already have an Asia land.
Yeah.
So we're going. Let's go back to where
they could have made a sweet dragon ride, though.
the big, huge, massive
Right,
attraction over in Hollywood Studios for Indiana Jones, which is a very tired franchise right now. It's getting old. I said a long time ago, I think they were just going to keep it alive until after the movie comes out, and then they were going to move Indiana Jones representation somewhere else. They just moved it to Animal Kingdom. I would say within the next, at least by next D23, if not sooner, we'll hear that that's going to be torn down and most likely become some part of Marvel, in my opinion. The Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular over there.
So, yeah, for sure.
Do you know when that contract runs out, where they can do stuff east of the Mississippi with Marvel?
I don't know if it ever does, but they're in talks to redo things now. But there's a lot of things they can do. They just can't do whatever it is, the Avengers. Chris knows more about this.
They can't touch any of the characters that Universal uses in their parks, and there's no time date on that contract. It expires when Universal decides to renovate or touch up any of those rides. They cannot touch those rides or those characters. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So if they try to change it, they lose it.
They lose it.
So in other words, it's gonna So when those things, and they're getting tired, they're the old animatronics and everything. When that stuff starts breaking and going, Disney gains control.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and that includes, that includes whatever they have there. And I can't remember. I know Spider-Man's there.
They have Spider-Man. They have the X-Men. They have Incredible Hulk.
Fantastic Stacey,
Four.
what is the is that an actual? I don't remember that one where he searches for the golden jaguar and it's actually a real golden jaguar. Is that one of the movies, or is that your concept? I like that.
Is this what having ADHD is like?
Dude, it's like this is every week. This is what me and Dave sit here and just we've learned to ignore.
Dave and I get it right, Steve. Cheapest crow. Even I know that.
All right, so that's what they're doing in Animal Kingdom. They announced that
squirrel.
Zootopia will replace. I've also heard rumors that there will be a Pandora expansion in the future. They're going.
That's smart, Stacey. You should write Disney with that.
So
I like that.
Moving over to Magic Kingdom. So they did announce, one of the biggest things they announced there is that the Country Bears is completely changing because people find it offensive. Just like they found
Steve finds it offensive, not
no. I don't. I mean,
he finds the show offensive.
The same group that found Splash Mountain offensive has deemed this offensive as well. They've been very open about it. It has not, But here's what the good news and the bad news is. The bad news for people that actually like the ride, it's not going to be the same. It's going to be completely different. They're even renaming one of the characters because apparently it has racist connotations.
Oh, yeah.
So Liver Lips McGraw will now become Romeo McGraw with a little pompadour poofy haircut. And then they're going to repair some of them up. Wendell, the main host, will be pairing up with Teddy Barra, the swinging Teddy Barra. And then Trixie, who always sings with the wine, will be joining the triplets. So they'll be a stage act. And now they're going to be completely all new songs, all Disney songs, which is what I'm actually excited about. I heard the rendition to The Bare Necessities coming in. And so the show is completely overhauled. And they say it's going to come in 2024. But we'll see about that.
Shep, what voice are you doing for the Bears? What bear are you going to be?
Oh, they're actually, they're gonna create a whole new bear just for me. Yeah. I can't give you too many details, but he's gonna sound kind of like, hello everyone, and welcome to the new Country Bear Jamboree.
I'm not going to that attraction anymore.
Yeah.
Nope.
Listen, let's all be honest. The only reason why we ever went to that show is because it's inside. That's the truth, right?
It's an air conditioned spot. Is what it is. So they're changing it around. Then also in the area, there's rumor. This is not announced at D23, but I found it when I was reading today that there is a lot of talk about changing the whole area with the Country Bears change. And then changing Pecos Bills, which I know is going to happen, and I'm dreading it. And that whole area from Country Bears over to Splash Mountain becoming New Orleans Street. and theming it toward Tiana. There's been a lot of talk about, like, Tiana's place is out in California right now, right next to the attraction. It's a restaurant. I think we're going to wind up getting the same thing here in place of Pecos Bills, which would devastate me because I love Pecos Bills. But they're also beignets. Beignets are
those are fantastic.
They're most likely coming to Magic Kingdom.
If they can do that in juleps, the mint julep.
That's not from that place. It's
from
Orleans. It's from
Orleans Square
restaurant. Yeah, I don't know if they'll bring the mint juleps or not.
No.
I mean, if they went with a restaurant like that, then yes. I guess they could just implement it into Tiana's.
Right.
There's no reason they couldn't.
Right, because it's all part of that
But that is not a for sure thing. They didn't announce that. It's just something I've been reading about, and that a lot of people close to Disney sources think is going to happen, and we're shocked that it did not get announced at this D23 event. But what do you think about that?
I don't want to lose my tacos and my nachos.
That's the only reason I go there for the tacos. It's different.
Yeah,
it's so different.
I remember as a kid, and I'm talking like tiny little itty bitty kid in a stroller. It's like a vivid memory, and it could be made up. I don't even know, but I remember sitting. We were outside Pecos Bill, and I remember sitting there like looking up, and I could see Big Thunder Mountain off in the distance. And I was sitting in the stroller, and I'm just thinking, like, man, I can't wait to be big and ride that big roller coaster. But we were sitting there right next to Pecos Bills, and we were with my mom's parents, who are now have passed a long time ago. But we were with them, and I remember it like it was like it had to have been real, but I was probably like 2 or 3 years old, so I don't know if that's even possible to comprehend stuff from that age. But I feel like it's true. So.
If you feel like it's true, it must be, right?
Right.
I mean, I think so.
Right.
3 hours later.
So we could get New Orleans Street. Who knows? I wouldn't mind the restaurant. I don't want it to replace Pecos Bills. So I got an issue with that. But the other area, so then you got that takes New Orleans Street would take you from the Country Bears up to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Big Thunder Mountain would start another biome, according to this last year's announcement, of basically a desert-themed area where they plan to put like Big Thunder Mountain, like I don't want to say desert, Western Desert, New Mexico area, that kind of area, where they would put that, and that's where Coco would go now.
Where?
As well, because they showed Coco on that as well.
Oh, on the other side of Big Thunder.
On the other side of beyond Blue Mountain, whatever, beyond Big Thunder.
Like it'd have to be on the other side of the pond, like that little river.
Oh, dude, they got land for days up.
Oh yeah, I mean
that's where they're going.
Like that's a pretty good chunk of land.
So, and then on the other side, if you went straight north and northwest just a hair, that's where mostly north though. That's going to be a. It's perceived to be the desert area. To the east of that is where they assume will be the villains area that they announced, if that's what they stay with.
I mean, there's a ton of room up there.
Oh, they got room, dude. They got more room than they know what to do with.
What they should do, instead of getting rid of Pecos Bill, all right, they could add, see.
You're also not seeing what you're not seeing on there. Here. What you're not seeing on there, though, dude, are all the backstage buildings that are there.
The roads.
And you're not seeing the backstage buildings where they house everything and all the things it takes to run everything. So they would have to change a lot of that around. But behind Big Thunder, they got a lot of room. So we'll see about that. And then the other thing we're getting on the other side over by Tom Sawyer.
Okay, no. So there, look at this though. Hold on. Stand by. Look at this. So, there's a whole bunch of buildings back there.
What is this one?
So this is the concept art they showed. There's your Coco area. And then
is that from the first one, right?
Yes.
So I took a picture today too. So this is the concept they think will.
So there's a little room to expand.
Go. Oh wait, I can't do that like that.
How are they going to keep that rainbow there the whole time?
I know.
See right here.
Good question.
There's a little room to expand to make just a small little New Orleans.
Here's what they're going to do.
Oh,
that's it. There's New Orleans Street, Liberty Square is going to expand, Villains Land, and the desert theme land. But Encanto's still in there right now, as you can see.
Yeah, I can't wait to go to Disney World with 102-degree temperature and 100% humidity and walk around the desert. Can't wait.
It'll only be open during the winter.
Yeah.
So over in the Magic Kingdom, though, also just a hop over the Tom Sawyer Island is the Haunted Mansion. We are getting the Hatbox Ghost.
Yep, that's soon, right? November.
Well, it's soon, but they can't give us an exact date because the DeSantis appointed board of directors is making them have a full inspection fire marshal before they reopen the attraction. And that guy can pick a date and show up to 3 days early or 3 days late. So they can't give you an accurate date for that. But right now it's listed as late November.
Okay.
And he's going to be it's going to be in the beginning of the attraction. But yeah, they have to shut it down, put him in, and then they have to wait for the fire inspector to do that. So, the other good thing about Country Bears too that people don't realize either. Right now, those things are, how old are they? How long has that thing been around?
Forever.
So they're all hydraulic animatronics that are going to fail and have failed numerous times already, especially when the creepy triplets come up and they stop moving and all this other stuff. Everything is getting replaced. All the animatronics will be new.
Let's back up. Creepy.
Yeah,
I think they're kind of hot.
Well, not when their eyes fall back in the back of their head and everything. So
why are you looking at the eyes, Steve?
Don't look at the eyes.
Aren't they all like babies in bonnets?
Oh, I don't know, maybe.
But all of them are getting replaced. They're all getting new animatronics, completely new, and they're going to be electric animatronics. So what it means for the future, I guess, is this attraction will be around for a long time. They can always add new shows, new music, do different types of music. Doesn't have to be Disney music, but the fact that they're replacing all the animatronics and with electric animatronics as opposed to hydraulics means that they plan on keeping this thing around for a very long time. Otherwise, they would not put the money into it. So people that do like Country Bears should be happy about that. I'm hoping that this makes the show good. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, over in Pirates and the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Justin, you need help in a lot of therapy.
Well, can we go back? I want a question for you all because I don't know Disney like you guys do.
Yeah.
Where did the IP of Country Bears come from? Was there like a movie I don't know about or a TV show or something?
There is a Country Bears movie or show. I can't remember what it is. It's from a long time ago, but not everything that started at Disney was IP based. They created it. That is their IP based on what they created. Pirates of the Caribbean was created, and then they made the movies out of it, stuff like that. So this may be, I don't know which one came first, but there is a really creepy old movie of the Country Bears somewhere.
Well, just like the Haunted Mansion, that was all first, and then they made movies after it.
Yeah, so they've got a lot of things where it's still their IP, their creation. It wasn't just based on something prior to it being created in there.
Someone who had a pretty creative mind, similar to myself, probably was in the position to create these wonderful attractions.
So the entire nostalgia is based just upon the show, then.
Yeah, and how old it's been, how long it's been there.
Okay.
So over in Pirates, we're getting a new restaurant as well. It's going to be a new pirate themed restaurant, apparently like nothing you've ever been involved in. They're bringing the Barker Bird back, which is a parrot. There are two rumored places for it to go. One is to replace Tortuga Tavern, which they do not think will happen.
Hold on, we got some serious knowledge here. Hold on a second,
dude. Can I get through anything without you stopping?
No, because this is all ties into the Country Bears. The Country Bears were originally going to be part of the ski lodge in California, but the plan got scrapped and moved to Florida. Country Bears was considered Walt's last laugh weeks prior to his passing. That's some serious knowledge right there. Thanks, Mike. I just had to tie into the Country Bear thing. All right, go ahead, Steve. I won't.
So the Pirates is either going to go in Tortuga Tavern, where the other one is right now, or the most likely place it's going to go is over in the Pirates League makeover place where you could become a pirate. It's like the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique version of except pirates for the boys. So they think it might go in there. So it's very, very early, not even been greenlit or anything yet. So, but we might get a new restaurant over there, and I think
that is dope.
They're focusing on a lot of restaurants in the near future too, because expected sometime to be announced next year is a Haunted Mansion restaurant as well.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about the Pirates though, because if you've been to California, they have the Blue Bayou, which is
it's not going to be that.
I know. I'm just saying, like that atmosphere is pretty cool.
Huh?
It's like a completely different ride. If anyone's been to California, it's a completely different ride than what we have in Florida. as far as like how you get onto the ride. It's very similar to like being in Mexico in like the Three Caballeros, and when you're like get on the boat, you look up and people are eating right there. You actually eat. You can have dinner and watch people getting on Pirates. Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. When I grew up,
that concept's cool, but I think like just having an awesome, sweet pirate pub would be. I would live there the whole trip.
You know, I grew up in Disneyland area, and we would ride that ride, and I tell my mom that's where the rich people eat. So one day I'm going to eat there. One day I'll be rich enough to eat there.
Oh, the rich people. Yeah, I probably can't afford it.
Yeah. Chris, what do you think? You like Pirates?
I'm intrigued by this tavern idea. I think if they bring Peg Leg Pete, the bird,
Barker Bird,
it could be sort of their version of DJ Rex over at Olga's.
Oh, that'd be cool.
True, very true. The concept art did look like the bird was drunk.
It did.
So I mean, if you didn't see it, he was like laying out, sprawled out everywhere. So
is there is there a place in the Magic Kingdom that you can get alcohol?
Not unless it's in a restaurant. It's
Only restaurants, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So this would be cool if it was like, I mean, again, not to take it out with you, but it would be cool to have that pub type atmosphere at Disney. And you'd be, you can go in and.
Well, I understand it's a table service restaurant. It's not a pub.
Well, they should have a pub.
Well, you call them and tell them to break all their traditions.
And every person that walks in gets a sweet hat, pirate hat. If you want a patch, if you want a patch, you can have a patch. If you want a peg leg, you can have a peg leg. If you want a redhead, you can get a redhead. Trader Sam's, but Pirates theme. Exactly. 100%.
There'll be a lot of people that disagree with me, including Steve, but I don't think Disney World has the best of food. So you go to a restaurant.
I don't disagree with you.
So you go to a restaurant for the ambiance, and the more themed restaurants, the better, I think.
I think they have I do think they have some incredible food at certain restaurants.
Yes.
As a whole, I would agree with you. Their food is subpar.
Well, yeah, I mean, just give me some chicken fingers and fries, whatever, dude. Just
make
it an awesome experience. Like have pirates come out and serve you. You know what I mean? Like, oh, matey, what would you like for dinner tonight?
You just have to know where to go to get certain food. So if you want flatbread pizza in Magic Kingdom, you go to Pinocchio's.
Yep.
Or you go to Captain Cook's. You leave and go to Captain Cook's.
Do you ever remember that old episode of The Simpsons where Moe turned his bar into a restaurant and he sang every time he brought you food and had stuff on his head and everything? That's what we need.
I'm not sure about that one.
Okay.
We don't need anybody singing because then Shep would go apply.
Where?
So, okay. All right. Moving over to Epcot. We got some important stuff here. First off, the day after it was announced, September 10th, we got a Figment meet and greet. Two problems I have with this thing. He's not cute little Figment. He's taller than I am. He's a massive. Next thing is, apparently it's pretty hard to walk because he fell twice the first day.
Really?
Yes. Tripped and fell over right in front of everybody.
Did stuff fall off him?
It is a monster costume. It makes no sense. I thought we were going to get like this BB-8 meet and greet. You know how BB-8 is over in Hollywood Studios? Little robot that's controlled by somebody backstage. He interacts and beeps. Figment could have done the exact same thing. They could have done a very good job with Figment, put his voice in there, somebody controlling it like they do backstage, and interact with you and talk to you in Figment's voice, make little jokes and stuff like that. And instead, we got this monster of a Figment costume that the person can't even walk in.
Yeah, they could have made like in one small section, like the front end of the Dreamfinder ship, and he could have just popped up and like stood on top, like a small little figure on top of the boat, so then you can walk over to it and get your picture with him. But he'd be still nice, small, and cute. He'd be interactive, but he would just like pop up and down. You know,
he didn't do that. He just bend it because the way they do BB-8 is he just sits there. You come around the wall to see him, and then you go around the wall to leave. So you only see him when you're in that.
Oh, right. So he could just sit. Yeah, I mean,
you just put him. You put him there, and
just use your imagination. Good point.
Yeah, but I'm not. I don't know. And then on top of that, he's over. He's at. No, he's in the back of the thing. Never mind. so he's still there, but it's where Wreck-It Ralph was because back in the end of Figment area. But he's just so big.
That's actually a good point. So, like way back in the day, the Dreamfinder would walk out with him and hold him
on his arm. Little bit.
They should have done that.
I don't think they need the Dreamfinder.
The Dreamfinder's gone, so
I think they missed the mark here with not doing the same thing they did with BB-8. I really think they missed this mark because like the head that's over at Universal Studios, the shrunken head in the bus. I don't think you've ever seen it, but anyways, he sits there. You walk up to him, and the guy talks to you. What's your name? You tell him your name. He responds to your name. There's somebody that controls it and everything. You could have done the same thing with Figment, having somebody answer and somebody like just at the monsters laugh
crush thing. Yeah,
somebody back there to interact with people. They're very funny. They could have done a lot with that, and instead we got somebody put in there like Godzilla of Figment or something.
He looks like he's. Steve, you know better, but he looks like it's about 6'9", 6'10", right?
He is bigger than I am.
Yeah,
but by several inches.
But if you look at the costume, I've seen pictures where the knees are at. It looks like somebody like 5'8", 5'9" in the costume. Yeah. So it's. I mean, look how low those knees are.
Yeah. If you look at it, I think the head is right in the middle of the chest.
Oh yeah,
right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I wouldn't even. I think it's lower.
You're marking it on my screen, but you can't see my cursor. Yes, the exact same spot. The head is right there in the top of the chest.
Really? I think it's lower than that. Look where the knees are.
Well, from the way his arm movements were, let me see. Sorry for fast forwarding, but there was a image down here. So the way his arms are moving, I think the head is right here.
His
and that red line in the
he's looking out the red.
Is where
the red's the eye. Yeah, the eye socket. Okay. Because you can see the shoulders would have to be in the same spot to make the arms work kind of right. So, but he's got another 1.5 to 2 feet above him. I mean,
that's because the head is like 2 feet tall.
Yeah.
So what's weird to me is this whole skinny head and everything sticking out of this turtleneck.
Well, he has a very skinny neck and everything. I don't have an issue with that as much. My issue is Figment is not this big. It's a tiny little thing. They missed the mark here, and he doesn't talk. 100%. He can't talk because it's this kind of costume now. So
yeah,
but yeah, it is very different than what.
And there's the old one, by the way.
Yeah, that's the old one.
Whatever happened to the
same build as the reindeer? Yeah, it looks it.
Whatever happened to the technology where Mickey would talk to you? I thought it was fantastic technology, and then they stopped it, right?
So that was the one over in by the front, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Abe got to see that once.
Again, once. That's somebody in the back that can control things and talk to you and do it. Right. They could do that easily. Mm-hmm. And these people are very witty. They could have done it. So. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, that was that. So we got that date. The next.
they could have just hired Monty Python, that guy, to come out in his white suit and hold Figment.
I don't know where he comes up with this stuff.
No, what's his name?
That guy has never even seen the ride. He's not going to come hold a Figment at Epcot.
But again, like Steve's saying, that the creature never gets above 3 feet tall in the ride. So why is he 7 feet tall out here?
And you think when he pops up from the phone booth and everything, he's like, "Hello," you could have done that with somebody doing it in the back. I mean, It could have been very interactive and fun, but it was also the longest line at Epcot on September 10th.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
there's no way I'm waiting
Eric Idle
5 hours to meet.
That's who it is. They should have Eric Idle out there every single day.
The other thing,
all right, Eric, get on out there.
Walk in the back way and go in just to go to the shop, and then just go walk over and just take a quick picture of it and leave without having to get in line. So, all right, October 16th, Moana: Journey of Water opens, which means the walls are coming down.
The walls,
some of them.
Well, the main ones you will now be able to go
creepy
from the
moon
front
face
through it to the back without. You don't have to go around some, but you don't have to go all the way left or all the way right anymore. But a lot of the walls are coming down through. You actually will have to go. I take it back. You'll have to go around the side to where Coral Reef Cafe is, and then you'll be able to cut through all the water stuff and see it. So, but it's right behind.
Did they give a date yet on that statue? On wall statue?
When I get to it, I will.
Oh, good.
So
Jumping the gun. My bad.
also on the 16th, where they're moving Moana's meet and greet over to over here too. She's gonna have a permanent meet and greet over here as with it as well. So I personally got to take a special preview of it. I thought it was really, really well done. It's not something that you're going to rush to every time you're there, but it's something that you can walk through, have fun with. The water is very interactive. They got numerous stations at each one of these things, that each little thing they do. And it is one of the best. They did such a good job, especially with Tafiti for picture placement. The sunset is right behind her. You also have the spaceship Earth with her and from the side point of view, and that walks right beside it, so you can stand there and take pictures of it. They did a really good job with this.
That's one thing Disney does really well is line of sight on a lot of these things. They do really well.
There's David.
David.
Yes, she will, Jumper. So, yes, guys, make sure you let David know how much you love him.
Thank you for waking up, but then now just go back to bed.
You go back to bed. So, then on December 5th is the new. This is going to make me happy, but it's not going to make a lot of other people happy. But it's kind of going to make some people happy. They named the fireworks show. It's opening December 5th, and it's going to be called Luminous, spelled almost identical to Harmonious with the ending of it, with the whole purpose of us. And it's called The Symphony of Us. The score is already recorded for this. It resembles Harmonious a lot. I don't think it has the foreign languages, but it's the same type of thing. A lot of the same technology will be used in this as Harmonious. So basically, they're fixing their mistakes from Harmonious and putting it back. And here's the reason. I found out the reasons why. They removed the barges and decided to do away with Harmonious for two reasons. Number one, maintenance on it was getting very intense and it was getting very expensive. Number two, against what everybody thinks about, I couldn't see across the lagoon and see the other countries. They didn't care about that. What they did care about was the lost revenue that they were losing from weddings and special events because from the Italy pavilion and those other ones, because it obstructed the view to Spaceship Earth. So people were not doing the weddings because of the view that they didn't have with Spaceship Earth anymore. So they lost a lot of revenue from bookings for that. Between those two things and the maintenance becoming too heavy, they decided to go ahead and replace it. This is going to be a lot of people that are calling this Harmonious 2.0.
Well, Simba 2 brings up a good point. Illuminations and Harmonious is Illuminous.
It's not Illuminous. It's Luminous.
It's Luminous.
It's the whole theming is towards the moon too, like illuminating from the moon.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing too is they're starting to put permanent fixtures in the water again right now for this. There's like a lot of these little poles going up out there. I don't know what they're going to do. It's kind of funny. They're not going to have this big barge and big circle in it anymore, but they are putting permanent fixtures in right now over there as well.
I'm interested
Chris,
to see
what it's going to be. Yet?
What's that?
I asked Chris if he'd heard the score for this yet. Have you heard?
I have not.
Have you heard any news about it at all?
How'd you hear this? You've heard it, Steve, already?
No, I said no. I've read about it. They said the score is already recorded, and it resembles a feel like Harmonious does.
But I haven't seen any specifics other than it's a celebration of Disney music.
Dave, go to bed. You're gonna give yourself problems.
A rant will be coming in the future weeks.
Dave's never happy with it. So go to bed, Dave. We will let you take notes and rebuttal. When you come back, it'll just be a show of Dave rants. You can rebuttal about all the
we'll just sit here and let it happen.
Yep. Yeah, so that's Luminous. I actually can't wait for that, especially since I found out that it's going to be similar to Harmonious, and which was my favorite thing. So I'm going to be happy about that a lot. What else we got?
Here's the thing with all this is you follow the money and you look at their financials, and the parks are what's making money for Disney right now. Nothing else is. And I'm glad that they see that and they're putting money towards the parks. But
pretty much, yes.
But the question is, what are they going to do with streaming now?
I don't think they're doing anything with streaming.
There was shockingly little news on the entertainment front Sunday from this announcement.
Yep. So I've
Except for
heard
the
rumor
prices
that
going up.
there's rumor that, again, these are rumors. Do not take this for single grain of salt. There's rumors that they're trying to sell off properties. There's rumor that they're going to sell Star Wars back to George Lucas, which is not a high level rumor. There's rumors that they're not getting rid of Marvel, but they're backing away from Marvel. They have said that they're going to cut off all the Marvel content until they figure it out because they're struggling real bad. They're wanting to sell off ESPN. So there's things that they're trying to fix now, and they got to fix the entertainment front. And one of those things is, again, they came in, Iger came back in, wiped out all of Chapek's people. I mean, all of them, that took all the creative away from all the people it should have been in the hands of. He put new people in place. We're not seeing their movies yet because it takes time to make those. He's only been in place not even a year yet.
Dave, good night, brother.
Good night,
Get
Dave.
rest. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
I think that's the craziest thing is that this, like, ousting Chapek was in November of last year.
Right.
We've only been doing this for 10 months with Iger. So
and then you have the actor and writer strike too. Sorry.
You also have the actor and writer strike.
That's going to delay it even more.
You're not getting anything from Iger's group of people yet. This is all still Chapek's people. So these movies that everybody are complaining about is still under the old regime, which will change once the strike's over, once his people can do their thing. They're still doing their processing and thinking of things. So you got to remember, we're going to get back to what we had prior to Iger leaving the first time when all the movies were fantastic. But like when I'm going to be honest with you, this Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs crap that they're getting ready to put out, there's talk about them just canning it because of how bad it is. Because it is not. If any other movie in the entire, and don't take this the wrong way, please, nobody takes the wrong way, of any other movie in the entire Disney front, the title signifies two very specific things that make that movie what it is. Snow White, because her skin is white as snow, and Seven Dwarfs. This is a very tan lady that is going to be playing her. I think she's Latino, which is, I don't have any problem with any of that, but it's not Snow White. And the Seven Dwarfs are seven random people that are as big as I am. One of them is very, very tall. There's only one dwarf in the whole movie. That's it. So they have completely butchered the concept of what this is. They're not seven dwarfs. They are very, very much so seven random people. There's even females in it, which is fine. But again, that's not the Seven Dwarfs that the story is about. So they're talking about canning the movie because it's already gotten such horrible press, more so than Little Mermaid got prior to it coming out, and it bombed.
Well, I think part of the problem is, and Ursula Lane said a little bit about this, the actress that's playing Snow White has come out and said some things that just aren't indicative of that movie. And it's fine if you want to make a different kind of movie. Don't call it Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, you know?
Make it an original story.
That's exactly what I said. The same exact thing.
Yeah.
If you're going to make, I love remakes. I love the live action stuff. I have no problem with it whatsoever. This one I got a problem with because it's not the story. It's not, I mean, like I could even get past her playing Snow White.
Right.
I can't get past the seven random people that are not dwarves.
Right.
I mean, Chris, can you pull that screenshot up that has her and the seven random people next to her?
And like, there's a lot of like little, I don't know, what do you call them? Little people? Dwarves. Little people? What's the correct term?
The movie is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
But like, there's a lot of actors, little people actors that like were like wanted to do that movie, are not like
the original concept was to use them.
Yeah,
Peter Dinklage got involved.
Right,
and I'm sure Disney didn't really take his thing to heart. He chastised them for trying to play those roles and said, you should be going after bigger parts. And they're like, hey, look, you did this. You were a dwarf in the Seven Dwarfs movie. This is how you got your start, and you excelled from there. We need something to get started with. Then Disney switched it all up from the dwarves to what we're getting ready to see. Yeah. And now there's only one. There's one person in it that fits that concept to a T. The rest of them are not.
Miss Smith said it right. I heard that interview about the actress who's playing Snow White, and they're out on the strikes. She's saying she wore a dress for 18 hours. She deserves more money, essentially.
Those are your Seven Dwarfs.
That's your Seven Dwarfs.
And there's Snow White.
There's your Snow White.
Yeah. So go back up to Seven Dwarfs real quick. The front one. The front one, I'll buy. The rest of them, and the girl in the back there with the little pom-poms in her head, how is she a dwarf? Seven Dwarf. And we got to get which one does she even fit? Is it Sleeping
it's like it's more like Red Riding Hood and the
seven random people,
the seven pirates. They look more like pirates.
Yeah, that's exactly what they look like. Lost Boys from Peter Pan. Yeah, they look like.
Which they could have done that. They could have redone it and done instead of Peter Pan, they could have made her. Like,
is that guy?
they're vertically challenged people.
Is that guy in the back Figment?
These are not vertically challenged people.
There you go. That's Figment.
This is the guy that's in the Figment costume.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you want another part? Yeah, okay.
So listen, if you're gonna make a remake of a story that we know and a story that's already been told, make the remake of that story. If you want to do this, create something new. This could have been beautiful with something new, with a new concept, new whatever. Yes, Snow Tan and the Seven Randoms. So, they're killing themselves because this movie is absolutely gonna bomb. Look, the dwarves are bigger than she is, and they're in the back. Forced perspective. They're behind her, and they're bigger than she is.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah. I just don't understand their.
Oh wait, go up again, Chris.
I get the
Snow
whole
White and the seven politically correct companions.
That is 100%. I get the concept of storytelling and inclusivity and all that other stuff. You can't do this. You just can't. You're alienating most of your viewers with this.
Yeah. Well, Disney's been doing that a lot lately.
Again, this is all still JPEG regime.
Yeah.
So I am excited. Now I will tell you this: I watched Elemental. It came out today, I believe. Is that correct on Disney Plus?
Elemental. Yes. I don't know.
We're watching it Sunday. I enjoyed Elemental, but it's also Pixar based, where they still had most of their people. So it was a pretty decent film. I had somebody, and I know people keep yelling because they tell me, "Oh, I tell you all the time." I still don't care. I don't know. It's based on some kind of math game. I don't know what the characters are or where they're from, but it's it has nothing to do with math in the story. It's a very, very you give it 4 trash cans. It's a very, very good movie. I enjoyed Elemental a lot. So
these rumors have been going around for a long time. When they first came out, it didn't make any sense to me. But when rumors in finance continue to pop up, there's smoke there somewhere.
Oh yeah.
And the rumor of Apple buying Disney, I thought it was completely stupid and would never happen. But now it's starting to make a little bit more sense. And maybe, what happens before a merger or an acquisition is you get rid of a lot of your loss leaders. And I feel like Disney's starting to do that with streaming, with ESPN and things like that. And I got a feeling, I think there is some fire there about Apple looking to acquire Disney.
I think Apple is looking to acquire Disney. I don't necessarily think Disney's going to do it.
If Apple bought them, it would be the end of Disney.
I don't think so. I think it would change Disney by a lot. But here's the thing: what they need is a financial backer. If anything, they don't need to be bought out by. What they don't need is Comcast coming back. Comcast tried to do a hostile takeover. They specifically said, "We will gut Disney. There will be no more characters. You'll have the parks, but it'll be themed towards other stuff." And that was one thing Michael Eisner did before he left, even though he was embattled and everybody didn't like him, is he stopped that from happening. And then Iger stuck it to them when he bought Hulu and all this other stuff too, and Fox. Yeah. So it's not bad.
But I think Disney's about to acquire 100%
Disney brought to you by iPhone 20. That's right.
Disney's what?
About to acquire 100% of Hulu.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
So what I think Disney's going to do, and it makes perfect sense to me, and Chris, you can weigh in because I think you know about this too. Disney's thinking about taking everything to one platform because right now it takes so much to operate. That's why they're trying to cut ESPN off. Disney has no business being in the sports market game anymore. They just don't. They're trying to sell off ESPN. They have Hulu. They have something else, and then they have Disney Plus. And they're going to basically, like when you get on Disney Plus, you have your Disney, your Pixar, your Star Wars. Yeah, Hulu will be another addition to that. And it makes perfect sense. Smart. Now you get rid of all the extra servers you don't need that you have to host. You get rid of all the other anything that takes to run that program is now all into one. So you can split the cost, raise them up a little bit, and get rid of half of that.
Heck, a few weeks ago they started putting some of the Disney Plus series on Hulu. So,
oh really?
Yeah, I think they put a couple of the Marvel, and I think the Mandalorian, maybe season 1, they put on Hulu.
Yep.
Wow.
I think in the future we're going to see those combined into a merger for one streaming service. So
That'll be nice.
that's what that is. Other things in Epcot. Surprising news. Test Track is getting redone. So they're going to redo Test Track, and people are complaining. People are complaining about why is Test Track getting redone when we can't get these other things done. There's a reason for that, and this is the reason. General Motors still sponsors that area of the park. That means they're under contract. Every 10 to 15 years, they renew that contract. That contract is up for renewal. General Motors comes in and changes. That's what they did when they went to Test Track 2.0 from the original and everything else. So General Motors has agreed to re-up their contract. They are sponsoring it. Still the only original sponsor of Epcot right now. So,
and if somebody's going to come in and foot the bill to renovate a ride, I'm going to renovate that ride. Why not?
And they're not just renovating that ride; they're renovating the area. I mean, it's money for the whole area. It's operating cost for the whole area of that park. So when people say, "Why is it getting changed? We can't get other things changed." That's why, because they're not paying for it. GM is paying for it. They're going to pay for the entire. Yeah. Anytime that somebody else is paying for it, start the project now.
Mm-hmm.
Get it done.
Let me ask you too: does Disney not do that anymore, or they just can't find sponsors?
I don't think it's as common as like Kodak used to do it, then they fell off, and some other people. I know whoever sponsored Carousel
Enterprise sponsors Tron.
Enterprise does sponsor Tron, which is why you hear Team Green in the ride. But there's not. It's not that common anymore.
I think they still sponsor the People Mover actually as well.
Who does?
Enterprise. Wow.
Are they?
I believe so. Last time I was there, it still showed sponsored.
I don't remember seeing the sign. It could be. I don't remember seeing the sign though there. But anyways, GM's doing it. They're redoing their contract. They're and they're going to retheme it towards inspired by the original World of Motion. No concepts there yet or anything like that. Apparently, it's going to be the exact same thing. It's just going to change. The ride's going to be the same. You're going to be able to build your car beforehand, all that good stuff. It's just going to be rethemed, reimagined towards World of Motion. And I don't have a problem with that. I don't know if you guys do or not. I've heard a lot of grumblings about that, of why are they changing Test Track. Again, it's been 15 years? It's time.
Who has problems with innovation and change?
A lot of people.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Dude, I get yelled at all the time because everything needs to either be replaced or updated. At some
I don't
point
have a problem with it as long as it doesn't touch the country bears. But
no, you got Pirates, you got Haunted Mansion. Like they can't do a complete overhaul of that.
Again, all they do is update them, which they did. They updated Pirates and put Jack Sparrow in. They could have done the same thing.
They got rid of the redhead and made her not.
Yeah, that was just because the same group of people that complained about the other two complained about that.
Enterprise does sponsor the Tomorrowland Transit.
Is that the only two they sponsored? People Mover in. Okay. So they got that sponsor, and they got the GM sponsor that I remember. And there used to be somebody, GE, General Electric, used to sponsor Carousel Progress. They don't do that anymore, though.
Mission Space was HP, really.
Huh?
Mike says Mission Space was HP.
Is HP, he said.
Is HP, yeah.
So
Hewlett Packard.
So the where was I going with this? I don't remember.
So it's kind of like naming rights for stadiums, right? That's what it kind of is.
It basically, they sponsor the attraction, or part of the surrounding area, whatever it is, and then they pay for it. And Kodak used to do Journey. I think it was Figment, Journey to Imagination. I think it was Kodak, if I remember correctly. So but when some of those people have their own issues, but GM's intelligent for doing what they're doing, because not only do they have control, they don't have control. They have the financial backing to make the changes that they want to, but it's everything there is GM in that thing. You get to see the cars that they bring in. You can buy cars, I think, when you're there, or get the information to be able to buy the cars, whatever it is. They got the showroom floor. I mean, they're selling at the same time that they're creating something that is wildly popular that people are going to come see. So, yeah.
Dad Bills, how many cars have you bought from Disney?
None.
Oh.
Have you seen? But I like going in there and looking at those cars.
I do drive a GM vehicle, though.
Oh, there you
go. Star Tours is getting an upgrade. They are going to bring in Ahsoka next spring to some of the scenes.
Cool.
They already have, I don't know what they got, 20 or 30. I love that ride because, again, simulator ride. You can change or do whatever you want to. They change the scenes. I can't remember. I want to say there's like 3 from every movie. The 9 movies turns into 27. I can't remember exactly how many there are, but there's a lot. And it's a different combination each time when you ride it. You go down to see Jar Jar Binks. You go. The last time I rode it, I went to the Red Salt Planet and got to see that scene and the one with the crescent. I call it the crescent water, where the Kylo and Rey are fighting in it. So you get all these different scenes. Well, now they're bringing Ahsoka to it as well. So that'll happen next spring.
Wendy B. I remember that when Chevy, it was the first when Test Track first opened up. They had the dummies in there, and they were launching the dummies at stuff. That was cool.
Was that one of those 2-year-old memories too?
Could have been
like, oh, dummies launching over the mountains.
Yeah.
I will say, I haven't watched the most recent episode, but maybe a C+ right now for the Ahsoka series. I'm just not.
I started watching it for the first. Like I started actually watching it, and it's very slow.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my taste particularly in styles of shows.
What is
Ahsoka?
I'm not a fan. I'm not a huge fan of it either.
Yeah, I've been watching it. And,
well,
I'm not caught up. I think I got like 4 episodes in.
I only got through 2 right now. I was like, where is this going? This is not what I thought it was going to be. It was amazing when she was in Mandalorian and that whole concept. Chris, have you caught up on that show yet?
Ahsoka?
Yeah.
I haven't watched this week's episode.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat says it's amazing this week's episode.
I'm enjoying the series. I'm excited to see this week's episode, but I'm enjoying the series a lot. But I don't know. I was telling Angela the other night, I haven't watched Clone Wars and Rebels, so I don't know a lot of that story. I'm kind of diving into Clone Wars again now, but I don't know a lot of the intricacies, but I'm enjoying Ahsoka a lot.
I don't know him either. I hated. I couldn't get into the Clone Wars or any of that either. So, but I mean, it's Star Wars, so I'm giving it a shot. So,
and as a point of correction, Test Track is sponsored by Chevrolet. Living with the Land is sponsored by Chiquita.
Still, it is now.
It is. Mission Space is sponsored by Hewlett
Packard. To be fair, Chevy falls under GM, just so you know.
Right.
GM is the parent company that is up. The contract is with GM. The ride itself just says Chevy, but it is GM.
Mission Space is sponsored by Hewlett Packard. Rock and Roller Coaster is sponsored by Gibson Guitar Company.
Oh, really?
Wow.
These are all current sponsorships?
These are all current sponsorships.
Wow.
And 50s Primetime is sponsored by Coca-Cola.
Well, I love Pepsi, but
I thought it was sponsored by Steve's Wallet.
It's pretty much it.
I was just there Monday again. It was great. So they don't do a very good job of marketing then. I mean, like if I was a sponsor, my name would be out. I had no idea that Gibson was a sponsor of Rock and Roller Coaster.
No idea.
Does it say it on the guitar though, at the very top, where Gibson would put it?
No.
Not that I know of. But I mean, you might see some Gibson guitars in that when you go to the end of it, but there's nothing that says sponsored.
No, you know the big guitar on the front of the building,
like Test Track, right underneath.
It doesn't have Gibson on there.
Like right underneath Test Track says Chevy right underneath it.
Yeah.
Chevy and GM sponsor that ride. The Tron right underneath it says sponsored by Enterprise.
The guitar says Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith. That's it. And the Living with the Land, the big blue sign at the entrance, in small print underneath Living with the Land says sponsored by Chiquita.
It? So I do remember seeing the Chiquita banana sign inside the ride, but I didn't know it was sponsored by that. That's cool.
Chiquita banana.
Okay,
but this goes back to what you were saying, Steve. I had no clue that these things were being sponsored by them. They're not getting their money's worth. That's for sure.
I would agree. They should be putting, and I don't know whose fault that is, because obviously Disney has no problem with pronouncing that, hey, this is sponsored by this attraction, by this company. I think the other ones just aren't doing their due diligence. And
it's like how many people are walking out of the Rock and Roller Coaster like, man, I'm gonna buy me a Gibson guitar when I get home.
Right.
You know.
All right.
Somebody hand me a Chiquita banana.
Yeah. You're like, banana, Chiquita, where are you?
one thing over in Disneyland, real quick, they're putting in a ride that's going to be very similar to Guardians of the Galaxy. It looks like it's supposed to be like a time jumping ride featuring King Thanos. So that's going to be interesting. It's going to be over at Adventure Campus. That's really the only thing they really announced for Disneyland. One other thing that we got a date for, we don't have a date, but it's going to happen in December, is when the rest of the walls will come down at Epcot for the World Celebration area. All that area back there will be done. And the Walt statue will be put in, which I don't know if you guys have seen it. I got to see it out in California. It's pretty amazing, I think. But it'll be available. It just says December is all it says. So that's what we got. So by December, all those walls should be down. You can walk straight through until they put the walls. But that's also supposed to be that new area right there where the festival pavilion is going, the building, and that outdoor concert stage with those really wicked lights that they're I don't know if you've seen them or not, but that whole area, I don't know what they're going to do over there. But they could have some outdoor concerts and all kinds of stuff over there because of how big it looks like. And it looks like a big dance party area. So, but that's the world. So that it's called World Celebration. That's all supposed to be up and ready in December. So we'll see if that goes. Last thing I got is for a limited time only, starting September 22nd, they're for the celebration, the 100-year celebration, they're bringing back the California version of Soarin' Over California. So I got to be honest, not popular opinion. The only thing I missed from that show is the orange groves. The world show to me is way better. So I am I'm excited to see it, but I'm excited that it's not going to be staying.
So, going back to, you said Star Tours, have they got all these random places you could go to? They need to do that with Soarin'. That would be great.
Yeah. Every time's different.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
The concept of getting to go through all that, like I like I love the Taj Mahal scene. I love the grass scene in Africa where the elephant throws up the dirt and the grass and everything. Those smells and all that are way more powerful to me than just the only thing I got out of California was the orange groves. I missed that. Outside of that,
but isn't that all digital? The old one or the new one?
What do you mean?
Aren't all those images like digital images and not real?
No, they took drones and they show the cameras where they have the cameras around the entire thing and they flew them over things. Yeah,
I thought that was more digital, and that California was all.
I think it was the exact same technology. I mean, it may have been a little bit more updated when they did it for the world, but they showed I watched some kind of I think it was on Disney Plus where they had the cameras. They showed the cameras like around a 360-degree circle and drove it around, just taking pictures of everything constantly, kind of like a drone. But anyways, what do you think, Chris? Do you have a preference of the two?
I faintly remember the original one, that Soaring Over California.
Yep.
And like you, I remember the orange smells, most of everything. I remember going over the Golden Gate Bridge. You do that.
Yeah, that was.
I love the Cal. My opinion is like I love the original.
I like that.
My favorite.
I like the new one though. I'm like you. I like the whole scene with the whales in the ocean.
Yep.
And then the desert and everything.
Fiji, whatever, the islands in Fiji or whatever it was.
I would love to ride California again just for nostalgia's sake. But
yeah, I want to ride it
all the time.
What's up, Jeanette? Jeanette's there right now.
Hey, Jeanette. I want to ride it once or twice just to remember it, but I am way more in favor of the newer one where you can, and on top of that, you can do more with the new one too. You have other things you can do. You're stuck over California in the original, but with this new one, you can turn around and you can just add new places. You can change it up. Again, that's that whole retheming, changing, modifying, whatever you got to do to keep the ride there, but giving it a new experience every 10 or 15 years. I don't know. I think it's just, I prefer the smells and the sights in the newer one, but I am looking forward to going to see the old one because I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, I saw it in California in 2019. Was the last time I saw the
I was out. I forgot about it. I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. I think we rode it. Did I ride that? I got in line for it. Did we ride it?
We did ride that. We did.
In 2020 last year.
Yeah, last year we did ride that.
Yeah, so we rode it last year.
Yeah.
Again, at that point in time, I was like, yeah, I miss ours. I mean, ours, in my opinion, the newer one's better. It's got more to it. A lot of people are upset about it because it's not the original. I don't care. Everything needs to be updated.
Fly over Wisconsin, smell all the dairy air.
But that's all the news I got, guys.
It's a lot of news, man.
What are your thoughts, Chris? As a
So
whole?
I'm probably going to go on one you don't care much about, but this
What?
whole King Thanos attraction
Yep.
at Disneyland, it's a really cool principle, a really cool idea. The King Thanos storyline is very interesting.
Yep.
And he's got a really cool look to him. But I like that they're doing all this stuff over there so they can perfect all of this stuff so that when they finally build it at Disney
Yeah.
World, it's all right.
I don't think.
And they actually make a villain's land.
So,
Well, we'll see. We'll see if that incorporates into a. See, when you go to villains, you got to. There's so many different things they can do. They can either incorporate all the villains from all the different properties, or they keep the villains as Disney and they build a Marvel area over in Hollywood Studios and have the villain stuff
I
there.
think
Just for that.
if they're doing a King Thanos attraction at DCA in Avengers Campus, I think they would keep him separate from the villains at Magic Kingdom.
I would agree. But you never know. I mean, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I'm excited for. I thought we got a lot more news, like I said, than I was expecting. I wasn't expecting much because it's the small D23 they do at Disney World, just more of a concession to Walt Disney World than it is anything, because the big one is the one in Anaheim.
It's not an expo. It's just it's panels.
Yeah.
So they have other stuff, but it's just not as big. It's not, they don't ever, all they usually do is update you on things at this one. They give you the dates of stuff that's going to come out before the next expo. And we got a lot more news on this than we did the last one, but that is, again, 100% contributed to Chapek being there for the last one and Iger being here for this one.
Right.
I personally have talked to people that are higher up in the company that have told me that Chapek put a squash on a lot of the announcements last year because he didn't know if they were going to do them or not. Trying to change the stuff financially and all that. So the fact that he squashed all that stuff and we got some more information this year was great. I think we're going to get some really, really good information next year at the expo. So we'll see what happens. So I don't know. Justin, what are your thoughts? You're muted.
Those are wicked good thoughts.
Am I still muted?
No, you're good.
No.
All right. My thoughts are, with having Star Tours, adding to it, that tells me that they're not getting rid of it, which makes me think, what are they going to do with that space in between Star Tours and Galaxy's Edge?
I think they're going to tear it down. It's going to extend Galaxy's Edge because there's Galaxy's Edge expansions in the works. Only thing I'm excited about is that we would lose the Muppets, and they got to put Muppets somewhere. We have to have the Muppets somewhere. But yeah, combining those two areas together. And then I'm more interested in what they're going to do with Launch Bay. They're not going to, it doesn't make any sense to have it over there anymore. It's such a huge space. Be interesting to see what they do. But I think, I think they're going to combine the two and make it all one big Galaxy's Edge land over to Star Tours. And I think the rest of it's all going to be getting rid of Indiana Jones and making some kind of Avengers thing or Marvel thing in the future.
People may not agree with me, but I'm going to die on this hill. You should have to ride Star Tours. And when you get off of that ride, you're in Batu.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Hey, ride diggity dog. Good morning.
Of course, you got to go through the merch area first. Then you get into this.
Then you get in.
I agree.
Can't sleep
Well,
on
let's
that.
be fair. Josh Tomorrow is a fan favorite because he is very he's very friendly, he's very kind. He does care about people and everything. He still makes decisions at the end of the day that we don't like, but he just smooths us over before he crushes those dreams. So, but it was a whole different regime back then. Disney's devoted $17 billion to Walt Disney World over the next 9 years. Is that correct, Chris? Those numbers?
Yes.
I think it's 17 billion. They're investing $17 billion. Let me tell you, that's new park money. Okay,
that's a lot of money.
Tell me, based on what I do for work and what I know that money to be, that's new park money. That's not renovations or anything like that. You could build the entirety of everything you want to do in the Magic Kingdom for $3 billion. Where's the other $14 billion going to go? We're getting a new park. That's but it's over the next 9 years, $17 billion invested at Walt Disney World.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of
Because a lot of what they announced at this is stuff that's already been budgeted and done before they announced that $17 billion.
Yes.
That whole investment in Epcot is already financed before they announced this $17 billion.
And the test track is paid for by GM, so you don't have to worry about any of that. That's not anything. So any of the stuff that we've heard so far, The Animal Kingdom expansion will be some of that, I'm sure, because I don't think that was budgeted ahead of time.
Yeah.
And that's technically speaking, I don't even think the Dino Land thing has been greenlit yet. It's very close to being greenlit. And for those that don't know, that means they give the go ahead to go. That still doesn't mean anything because Disney's greenlit Play Pavilion. They started work on it. They shut it down. They can stop at any point in time they want to, but hopefully we keep going forward, get new stuff.
That's a good point, Tina. The Spaceship Earth Spaceship Earth update that was supposed to be done like years ago. Is that just dead in the water? We haven't heard anything about it.
It's been delayed. It will happen because they got to because the ride can't handle many more years, I don't think, without being updated. But there's so much going on in Epcot right now, they can't afford to take something else down. So, I mean, they could if they wanted to. But
it's sort of like, though, the Mary Poppins
Yep.
planned attraction. I was all excited for that. And then when we found out what exactly that attraction was going to be, I'm glad they didn't build that. So
yeah, it was like a little teacup ride of horses.
it was an indoor teacups.
Yeah.
Well, the
Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not to get nerdy on it, but with how things have changed lately in the world, that 17 billion, they don't have that cash. They had to borrow. They're going to have to borrow that money. And with the rates there are right now, 17 billion 12 months ago is now 11, 12 billion,
Yeah.
with the interest rates. I don't know if they're going to have that money,
I mean, we'll see. We'll see how they do it. I agree with you. They got to come up with the money. Maybe it's part of their budget strategy for how well the parks are doing. Because over 9 years, again, that you don't build everything at one time. You don't need 17 billion right now.
Yeah.
Spread that over, you're looking at less than 2 billion a year. Take a lot of their profits that they make out of that. It goes right back into the parks. They don't. I mean, it depends. It just depends on how successful they are.
Well, the shareholder, and again, not getting nerdy, but the shareholders are already grumbling that the dividend hasn't been restarted.
Yep.
And it's been a couple years.
And that was the big selling point.
That's because of the massive losses of the streaming services.
Mm-hmm.
So, but one thing Disney does, and I can speak to this because I deal with it. Disney, every entity within Disney is its own little company. So, like Disney, if they want to build something, for instance, they have a warehouse that welds, they have a warehouse that does budget, they have a warehouse that does the decorations, they have these different groups. If they want something done from the other one, they have to bill each other and pay each other. It doesn't fall under all of Disney. There's so many different companies. I'm not going to call them companies. There's so many sub departments within Disney, and they are all their own entities, and they all bill each other and pay each other for whatever work gets done at those entities. So it's not one big, huge Disney. They kind of run everything else the same way. Their streaming service is its own thing. The parks are their own thing. But all in all, it all goes to the shareholders as one group. But within each other, that's why if one suffers, the other ones do.
Yeah.
Since you brought that up, can I mention something that
you can mention whatever you want?
Okay. Thank you. One of those sub companies was shut down the first of this month, and I haven't really heard anybody mention it. And that's the floral and gifts department that would handle all the weddings and everything, the decorations and all for weddings and all these different events and everything. They emailed everyone in that department like 2 weeks before the end of August and told them they were closing that down and would be outsourcing that going forward.
Wow.
Really? Wow. I didn't know that. One of my childhood friends that brought me to Disney for the first time, his mother and his wife worked for that department. They
said that department was like the retirement department. People that got there loved that position and would never move out of that position. And yeah, they announced middle of August that they were shutting that down and would be doing that outsource going forward.
Interesting.
Wow. VP. What's up, VP?
What's up?
That's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy. Interesting. Well, boys, anybody got anything else you want to talk about?
I'm looking forward to the Pirates restaurant.
And Indiana Jones.
I'm
looking forward to a lot.
I wish Disney would just, since they're got $17 billion they're going to borrow they could just throw me a couple, mil, I'd be happy.
Yeah, you think?
I could build some stuff for him.
I am disappointed in the lack of alcohol news.
It's true.
Well, sorry about that.
Most quit or retired from the floral place.
Most what?
Most quit or retired from the floral department.
Oh, yeah.
I think that must have been the people that I use. So when I got engaged in 2007, I went through official Disney and did like the whole engagement hoorah thing. And they set up a buggy, horse and buggy ride at French Quarter. And I snuck the ring to the driver and he put it in this little bouquet of flowers. And we stopped in the middle of the garden area in the French Quarter. And I got out and did the whole asking part. She said, no. It's funny. But then when we went back to the room and we opened the door, they went in while we were gone and they did like rose petals all the way through the whole thing and up on the bed. And they left like a little chocolate, like fruit platter thing there. But it was all done through. So that must have been the department that did that. So it's too bad that they're gone now because, not that I would ever use it again. It was just a neat experience.
We've used it several times too, especially when they would do the celebrations in the room. So like when my niece was having a birthday, we'd always travel. We always did something ahead of time. They would have it in the room already with the big banner. They're quite expensive, but you got a lot of good stuff in there.
It was just a memory,
Well, and they had little things too, like snack packs. If you wanted the snack package for whatever price, they had different levels. You would just go in there and just be a bunch of snacks in your room sitting there. And it was good.
All the pictures that I've seen from the different promotion or different weddings that they've set up at the parks or at the resorts is stunning the way they decorate everything. So
yeah. Yep. It's pretty crazy. All right. Well, that we flew through that. 2 hours flew by quick.
Holy smoking Joe.
Justin, what you guys got coming up on next Wednesday or whatever day?
I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. I have no clue. Watch Joy and the other girls and Wednesday at 8:00. I will say I've talked to her about this. Make sure, because I think Halloween is on a Wednesday. Is that accurate? No, I don't know. I'm looking at my
Halloween
it's on a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday.
But the I guess the week before they have a special episode
cool.
for Halloween. So
cool.
Yeah. There might be visors involved.
Ooh. I know someone that likes visors.
Yeah.
The other girl stinks a bunch, Justin.
I don't know. Whatever.
Dad builds.
Oh wait, one more thing.
Oh yes,
and go watch Dad builds because he's got some more enjoyable snacks coming.
Did you get? Oh, Chris, I got a package today from Pete.
Did you?
Yeah.
We did stay on topic fairly. I tried to knock us off a few times, but we just got pushed. I got pushed right back into topic.
Got some little comic cards from him.
No, you did.
I did. Did indeed, sir.
They're tasty.
He said you got one on your way, I think, or so you're getting one or something. But I got a package from him with some Lorcana cards.
You got one coming from Japan.
I got one coming from Japan. I don't know what's in it. Maybe it is Lorcana cards.
I will say so does Dad Bills. So.
Ooh.
From Japan as well.
Is his
from
the same
Japan.
as mine?
A little bit different.
A little bit different. Okay. So I don't want to show him what it is if he doesn't have it yet.
No. Yeah.
Because I think my other one's supposed to be tomorrow.
He's sending you guys
your sodas looked
fresh sushi.
Yeah, the sodas. I was getting nervous when I opened it up originally and I saw buffalo wing and ranch. And I was like, okay, I'm done. There's gonna be ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise. It's gonna be nasty. I was okay with the rest of them. The peanut butter and jelly, the bacon. It was good. So, Christopher, what you got?
Oh, nothing. We'll go live in a few minutes, maybe.
Okay, Chris is going live in a few minutes.
Ooh.
Shep is never gonna go live again. Probably never.
No, I might. We'll see.
One day.
We have some videos we got to put out from our zombie camp trip. How are those coming?
I'm working on those, but that has nothing to do with your channels. You're not posting those on any Shep channels. So.
Well, I might put some out pretty soon. We'll see. I got something planned coming up.
What are you cooking?
Huh?
You actually had a shot with the cooking thing with the Blackstone and all that, but you only did you filmed 6 and only threw 2 up.
Yeah.
And then never did it again.
I know. That was bad. But
it's hard to run 900 channels.
Yeah. There's a lot of work.
I got a text message. I want to know if this is true. Supposedly they stopped selling annual passes again
At Disneyland.
at Disneyland.
Yeah, not Disney World.
Indefinitely though?
Depend. They didn't say.
They paused. They didn't say when.
They've said when they hit a certain limit here in Disney World, they'll do the same thing. So
really,
yeah, it is what I mean. It's just
interesting,
which I'm okay with because it limits the number of people.
Oh yeah, Steve goes live on Mondays. I forget.
Oh yeah,
he eats dinner.
Yeah. So I'll be at Epcot the next few weeks. So we got. I'm hanging out with Preston. He wanted to go to Epcot this week, so I said we would. And then I've got 98 Degrees and Boys to Men back to back after that, or something like that. I could be wrong. I think it is.
They don't have the DVC pass available, huh?
No.
For
no, I think you can get I think the annual pass is still available here, the gold one, and then if you're a Florida resident, you can get the whatever one. So
yeah, the Incredipass Pass, $13.99 you can buy, but they're not showing my.
I don't think they have it anymore. I don't think it's for sale right now. So when they opened all the passes back up, some of them did shut down immediately because they sold out of them. The one that has not though is that gold one. So
yeah.
All right. Well, that's it, guys. We did. First off, thank you to you two for joining us tonight. It was very entertaining. I thought it was great. Thought we did a lot of news. Shep interrupted about only 242 times, and
that's a record.
That's a record for low. Yeah, you're right. But no, thank you guys for showing up. We appreciate you being here. Still 84 people here at I don't know, 11 o'clock. Head over to Dad Builds to see what you got. And other than that,
I apologize for not ranting enough, so I'll do it now. Oh, Ahsoka, very bad. I hate that show. There you go. Okay.
Spot on.
Thank you. There you go.
If you had the hat on backwards, we wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So, all right. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. Have a great night. Bye.
Good night.